going to talk a little bit about the importance of why a buyer should get a home inspection very early.
Good to be
on
here
in
with
the
you today,
process.
Marty. Yes,
sir.
inspections are the most important thing, not because I want to work, which I do, but an honest professional inspection is not a formality. People look at this process and they say, why get an inspection? Because it's the most revealing thing that happens during this whole process. We climb under the house, in the attic, on the roof, everywhere. We look at every component, we turn on every faucet, and we discover hidden problems. I mean, and it really goes by age. The newer the house, typically the less problems. But brand new houses do have problems also. 1950s house, a lot of problems typically. It's gone through many cycles on its equipment and its furnishings, its roof and everything. So these things need to be looked at because you really want to know what you're buying.
Right. And what would be the purpose of having a brand new home? Well, I know a lot of people don't understand, but why inspect a brand new home? It was just built. It's supposed to be perfect.
Builders don't try to build bad homes. They don't try to mess up things, but they are at the mercy of their subcontractors. So there's many things that happen with these new homes that may just get overlooked, that they didn't see. I've been in homes that had no ventilation in the attic. Brand new house, no vents. So we find these things for the buyers. New homes, they're easier to do because they're new, but they're harder in some respects because you have to look really hard to find this stuff. But we do. We find stuff all
So
the
not
time.
only does Daryl do a lot of inspections in our area, but he also was hired to do my own personal inspection, and I was actually buying a brand new home at the same time as selling another home, which, you know, that's a whole nother story and a whole nother day. But Daryl, give some examples of what we found on why.
We did. We found some issues on that house, and it was brand new. We found some foundation issues that they had to address. We found sprinklers in the yard blowing up against the stucco, which was actually causing systemic problems. It was hurting the stucco. So luckily, you know, they weren't huge problems, but they got fixed for you. But that's the typical thing on a new house.
Right.
And you start looking at when somebody calls in for an inspection, I want to know how old it is because equipment only lasts so long. So if I get a house that's built in 2000, you say, well, that's not a very old house. Well, it's 18 years old. And we start looking at components because ACs, they only last so long. Even if they need to be charged or serviced, we bring that stuff out. Water heaters, foundations, things that start aging, they start changing, and we want to get a good snapshot of where that piece of equipment is. It might be working great, or it might need replaced. Because water heaters, a gas water heater, maybe 12 to 17 years in that area. Electric ones last a little longer, so we're going to look at those components based on how old they are. And if it's built in the 70s, the original equipment's not there. We're looking at how old is the equipment that's there now.
Right,
So,
right.
deficiencies aren't created equal either. I mean, a little bit of missing caulking here is one thing, but you start looking at electric panels that are older or you have electrical problems. And how do you find that out unless you get it inspected? We find this house, this is a newer house, it's 2015, and I'm in there messing around with the lights and the ceiling fans and they're crosswired. I can tell that they got crosswired. Nobody ever found it. We found it today because we're looking.
Right, and something that's an easy fix can be just eliminated and caught very early on. Have those things addressed before you even move in. Daryl, thanks for coming out with us today. I appreciate your
pleasure.
time, and I'll let you get back to work.
All
Thank
right,
you.
I got to get back